Hey there, Sarah here with Naturally Inspirational. Today I am sitting here with Jenna. She is another herbalist here local to Coleman, Michigan, and we are welcomed with her presence. She is 10 times more knowledgeable than I am in herbalism, let alone she teaches her own classes as well and even helps out in a herbal shop
You are
in Mount
so
Pleasant.
sweet.
You are an inspiration to me, by far.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And I cannot wait to see how far more you go.
Thank you.
So, a lot of people on my platform kind of know me from the Dandelion Salves samples that we give out. So, we will be digging through and sharing some of the things that I make that she can actually share a little bit more knowledge on. And this is one of the wonderful samples. This one is Dandelion Yarrow.
Ooh.
So, you're welcome to crack it open and try it if you'd like. The little samples are quite squishy, easy to use, mobile. They're completely sealed, so they actually fit good into a safety kit. So if you're on the run or your kid goes ahead and gets a boo-boo, it's very easy to squeeze out. A little bit goes a long way. Like she's already squeezed it out. She's already using it on her hand. And to give you an idea, she's opened this one and there's still liquid in here. I have customers all the time. There's not enough in that package for me.
How? Just that little drop is enough for like basically my whole arm. It smells great.
So how would you describe what it smells like?
So it's floral but still earthy. Like you can tell that it smells like dandelion, but there's a little bit of something else to it. Do you use essential oils with this one too? Okay. What ones are in there?
Can you guess?
Probably not, honestly.
I only use 2 in my shop.
I forget.
Lavender and spearmint. But on my website, you can actually get, so we have dandelion yarrow, dandelion yarrow calendula, and we also have yarrow by itself. And they're all in these cute little samples. Each customer is allowed to pick 2. You can pick 1 and we'll ship you 1, but if you wanted 2, you can select 2. And it's just $2.99 shipping in the US.
Wow.
We did a free shipping for the beginning of the year. It started last year in 2025, and I did it for 6 months. And I shipped over 2,000 shipments.
Wow.
The mail company gave me a plastic container. They're like, stop putting them in your mailbox.
I really, really love that you have a yarrow salve because you don't really see a lot of companies that carry a yarrow salve, and yarrow is such a great herb to be in a salve.
It's amazing you say that. When I go and look at other people's products and I see yarrow mixed in with everything else in the world, and I'm like, I have something different. And I didn't realize how different it was until I had a customer call me. She placed an order on my website, and within 5 minutes she calls me and goes, I know so-and-so that you know from church, and I'm calling because I wanted to let you know I'm placing an order, and I'm part of a group, and I'm going to share it. And I'm like, I've never heard this much inspiration over yarrow salve. And she goes, I am specific about yarrow salve.
That's great.
And honestly, it still mind blows me. So what about yarrow salve? So for me, it's the fact that it stops bleeding.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the biggest things. Yarrow and shepherd's purse are like the top 2 herbs that will stop bleeding that grow around here. And I always try to prioritize like what I want to know in herbalism is what's going to be most useful for people and what's going to grow around their area so you can harvest it from your yard if you need to. We should know what grows around us, and I feel like that's really important for people.
Oh, 100%.
And so yarrow, it'll stop bleeding from just simple cuts, nosebleeds. It's usually better in a tincture for like overactive menstrual bleeding, but you could still use it as a salve because anytime you use a salve, if the constituents in that herb are oil soluble, then you're going to be able to absorb it through any skin membrane, and it's going to work throughout the whole body.
So with that, since mine are infused in olive oil, I tell people all the time, if you have a husband that thinks duct tape is a Band-Aid.
Oh my gosh, no.
Can you put the salve in the wound? And they can use whatever they want on it, but you don't have to worry about cleaning the wound out later.
Yeah. Duct tape on its own is not going to be good. But if you put the yarrow in there first, definitely.
Because I know if you went out to the wild and you grabbed yarrow and you munched it up and put it in the wound, you have to clear it out because it leaves and debris in there.
Yeah, and so that's one of the benefits of salves is you don't have to worry about that chunk of leaf getting stuck in the wound and having to clean it out later.
There you go. Don't rely on duct tape. Electrical tape?
I kind of feel like that would be better, but I don't know if it'd stick as well.
I mean,
honestly, most of the time it's probably better just to leave it open. Open with some salve. Like, you know?
I 100% agree, but I haven't met a man that is man enough to allow a wound to stay open while working in a garage.
That is true. That's a good point. For mine, I swear, it takes me putting it on his wounds for him to do it. But, yeah, he'll let me, so that's what counts.
Take the wins when you get them.
For sure.
And all I can think is I grew up with dogs most of my life to where their pads get all hard and crusty, or like how hot it's been lately.
Oh,
and they
definitely.
Burn. And it's amazing how you see a whole bunch of dogs out like at Cherry Festival in Traverse City. It is blazing hot, and I'm like, their paws have got to be burning. And I'm thinking a dog would be so smart to get on the grass instead of on the asphalt. My dog is not that smart. I'd rather be over here instead of in that. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Get over there. So then at the end of the night, I'm like, okay, let's check your paws. Okay, Steph. Okay, now don't move.
Honestly, even just as like a preventative, because we need oils for every membrane to be more secure, and so if you use salve more regularly, your dog's going to have stronger paws. Like, we moisturize our own hands, but we don't in general think of it for our pets too often.
That's true. And I do know the nose on a dog works the same as their paws as well. It's very important to keep them moisturized. Although most dogs' noses do stay wet, but I've come across some that don't.
That reminds me, like, even for farm animals, I've had ducks that have bumblefoot before, like just from walking around in different types of terrain that they shouldn't, like, they're too sensitive for. And so you want to use salves on that too. If it was bleeding yarrow, would be a good one, but if it's just like a general bumblefoot, I'd probably go with more like a plantain or a comfrey or a dandelion. But yeah.
But as far as for animals and salves, I think the biggest question that I get on that is, if I put it on my animal, is it okay if they lick it or eat it?
So dandelion, definitely. Totally be fine with dandelion. Yarrow, I wouldn't think that anything would be problematic. I probably wouldn't go with yarrow unless they had some type of bleeding. Like if it was bumblefoot or some type of sore on the feet that was bleeding, I'd use a yarrow.
Or like a dog that got into a dog attack.
Yeah. The only thing that could be problematic from overdoing yarrow is it can be a diaphoretic if you do too much. So, like, it can cause sweating. But if it's just that small amount that would be in a salve on a dog's foot, I don't think you would even have that risk at all. Yeah, yarrow should be fine. Plantain's fine. Comfrey's definitely fine. What other salves do you have?
Calendula.
Oh, calendula's definitely fine. Absolutely. They should all be safe for pets.
I was going to say my corgi ate a whole jar on me, so I confirmed that one a few years ago. And I kid you not, dandelion, yarrow, calendula. I was pregnant with my second child, and I had a 4-ounce jar on my countertop next to my sink. My dog had climbed on the toilet. This is a corgi, mind you, and we all know they are stinky and mischievous when they want something. I don't know what was in it that she wanted, but she licked out the whole jar on the counter.
Man, it really makes you wonder. Because, like, animals do normally tend to go for things that they need.
But I do usually give her, like, olive oil on her dog food, so I was assuming she was after the olive oil.
Her liver and her gallbladder can handle it.
But it's amazing if you go to a vet's office and they tell you, do not rely on salves, do not rely on holistic, do not rely on this for your dog. And I'm like, okay, so if my dog is eating grass, you're going to tell me to put a certain substance in the dog's food to go ahead and offset whatever, because usually they say if they're eating grass, their stomach's upset.
Yeah.
So we do have a basket here of a bunch of other things. I'm going to let Jen here go ahead and pick out the next item.
Let's go with this one.
Ooh, this one's my favorite.
So this is an elderberry cordial packet. I really love elderberry for helping our immune systems protect against viruses. Elderberry has a compound or an enzyme that breaks down the drill head of viruses, and that's partially like what helps keep us from getting sick. So say you have a mild virus infection. Yeah, I can't speak. And when you have elderberry in your system, it helps neutralize the drill head of those viruses so they can't drill into your cells anymore. So that keeps them from being able to infect new cells and keep you sick for longer. some people do elderberry just as a preventative to keep you from getting sick, and so it gets to that virus before it even has a chance to get in your system. So elderberry is really, really great. Another interesting thing about elderberry, there are a few different types of elderberry that grow in Michigan. Black elderberry is usually the one that you want to use, but other ones can be useful too. The whole plant of elderberry is really, really interesting because elderberries in themselves are really useful for those reasons. But the seed of elderberry, if you do too much while they're raw, they can be not so good for you. The leaves and the stem of elderberry can actually be toxic. So there have been cases reported of children that made a whistle from fresh elderberry stems that had toxicity reactions to it because they, pretty sure it's a cyanide-like compound that they contain. I might be wrong, but
I
95%
right.
sure. And so a lot of people are scared of harvesting their own elderberry for that reason of it might be in the seeds, it's in the plant, you'd want to be careful with it. But really, as long as you're cooking the berries, you're totally fine. Really fun fact about elderberry is if you are harvesting the berries, they're in this type of umbel, like just a big bundle of berries. And so when they're fully mature, you want to break that off at the stem and just take those bundles and throw them in a bag or in a container in the freezer. Let it freeze, and then those berries pop off really well. You don't have to pick them all off individually. They just fall off the stem.
I had somebody from work donate elderberries to me, but we sat on my aunt's porch for 2 hours with forks while they're fresh and forked all the berries off. Yes. I don't think I'd ever want to go through that again. And then I saw that video, and the fact you brought it up, I'm like, see, I should have done more homework.
Yeah.
Oh, the joys of being out of school.
Yeah, it is a lot of work too. Like the homework was definitely a lot. It's totally worth it completely, but I feel like you get more from experience though. Like that, just going through that experience, that's a lesson that you get to take with you.
One of the questions I get is, what is the difference between, so in this package we have elderberry, clove, and a cinnamon stick. I don't hide my ingredients because it's very easy to make at home and anybody can make them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of my customers like the fact that I sell these for $5. But everyone always would ask me, these work really good for stocking stuffers, presents, gifts. They don't go bad. This is completely dried. So everything in here is shelf stable, so you're basically ready to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say one of these bags lasts the 4-member family 2 months at least. Why would we want to buy a bag like this with organic elderberries in it versus going to the store and buying an edible or a capsule or those wonderful elderberry wonderfulness?
So often what you're going to get from a store in a capsule, it's probably going to be dried. And so if it was dried properly, it might be okay, but you're still going to have to digest it. Whenever you're doing something for its medicinal benefit, you're going to want to have it in solution, or it's going to have to be something for the bowel. Like if it's marshmallow or slippery elm or cascara or something for the bowel, then it's fine to have it in a capsule. If it's something like elderberry or passion flower, I'd rather it be a tincture or a syrup or some type of solution, because if you're putting it in there dry, your body's going to have to process it. If it's in a gummy, you're not going to get very much in that gummy compared to what you're going to be able to get in what you're going to make from the berries themselves. When you make gummies of things, you can only fit so much nutritional content like in there. You can only fit so much elderberry before you run out of space and you have to use like what keeps it together. Most gummies have way too much sugar. They usually have some preservatives, and you're not going to get as much nutritional benefit from it as you are from something that you make yourself. Also, if you get a ready-made syrup, that's probably going to have some preservatives. I do really like syrups because they're easy to take. Tinctures are my second best to making it yourself because they're so preserved. But even still in tinctures, like if you're not going to like the taste of it as a tincture, then you might as well make your own syrup. And it's really easy to do. Little story about how good clove is for the immune system and for protecting us. I do love that it has the clove and the cinnamon in there too, because those are both antimicrobial and they help boost the immune system. A really cool story about clove. Clove comes from the island of Ternate. And so this island that had a bunch of clove trees, they didn't ever have any epidemics until Dutch conquerors came through and destroyed all of their clove trees. And so it's one of the most powerful antimicrobials. It's really numbing too as an essential oil. People use it for numbing and for infections in the teeth and the jaws. It's one of my favorite essential oils for helping kill infections off.
I've heard it's very good for the teeth, and like if you're sick, you can suck on them for sore throats.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one clove is really good for is specific types of bacteria. I'm pretty sure it's one of those ones that works good for H. pylori bacteria, which not a lot of things can get to. Clove is a really, really strong antimicrobial. The one issue about clove is if you do it in essential oil form topically, it can be too strong for you because it's so hot. It's high in phenols, and so phenol is a constituent in the essential oil that's very caustic, but it also helps cleanse things. So we've got a protocol called the cellular cleanse protocol that we use for people for heavy metals or for excess gluten, especially if they're like diabetic and have too much like blood sugar issues. When you have too much gluten, sometimes it plugs up those cell receptor sites that insulin's supposed to be using, and so what's really great about clove is since it's a phenol, it helps cleanse that gluten out, cleanse those heavy metals out. It's a really strong cleanser and a strong antimicrobial, and so it's really, really great for the immune system. And same with cinnamon. It's just a little bit milder and with more of a twist for the pancreas and for the blood sugar aspect of things.
So if I was to take a tablespoon of this every single day for 2 months,
I'd say you'd be pretty set against viruses and definitely some other things that could be getting your immune system.
Would this help with any parasite?
Maybe mildly. It definitely depends on the parasite, though. Not all parasites are affected by clove, but there are quite a few that are. I usually like it more for bacteria and protozoa rather than like the worm type of parasites.
That I can agree with. It's amazing how clove is highly recommended for parasites, but I know with the 3 cloves that are in here, I'm like, it's not even strong enough to really knock them.
It might cleanse some stuff cellularly. It might boost your immune system a little bit. It's definitely going to be good for you. Probably going to make it taste good too.
That I can agree with. So I have a fun fact to share about this, which is a constant. Wait 5 minutes, the weather will change. It's a common issue. So I have children, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And when my 5-year-old was 2, we were in and out of the hospital a lot with breathing problems. She actually currently now is having asthma issues, and we haven't figured out why or where it's coming from. We're thinking because of the humidity and the weather and the temperature differences going on in Michigan. I ended up making this product because of her. I got so tired of going to ER. I'm like, she has got to have something, and being a mom, you're always going, what can I do to fix this? Because we blame ourselves. We want our kids to be happy and healthy, and it's horrible seeing them hooked up to a wall. And I had her start this. Within 2 weeks, we were no longer at the hospital.
That's awesome.
She no longer had breathing issues, but we also did Mullein tincture drops for her. So that was another thing that I want to get in my store as well, because Mullein by itself, it speaks on its own feet.
Was it tincture of the leaves or of the root?
I believe the leaves.
Okay.
I didn't know they make one of the roots.
People use it for back problems.
Back problems.
That's what I was told. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that one. That's interesting. Thankfully, I don't have back problems, but I'm sure I'm going to have someone come up to me soon and be like, my back hurts.
Yeah.
If you have kids and you want them to ask you for medicine, I kid you not, they'll wake up in the night and ask you. If you call this medicine, they'll love you for life. So this is made with 2 cups of boiling water. You boil this. You could do more than 2 cups of water.
I was just going to say, how much sugar do you got to put in there?
Actually, I don't recommend sugar.
Ooh.
I recommend a cup of honey. And not store-bought honey. Organic honey, unfiltered or unpasteurized. So one of the biggest things that I have about this, mine is kids absolutely loving it with a cup of honey. I highly recommend if you have kids, do a whole cup of honey. But for the elderly that can't handle that sweetness, I've had quite a few people be like, I can't handle how sweet it is. How do I tone it down? Because they weren't sure if it was from the honey or if it was from the berries. And the berries don't really have a big sweetness to them. I don't know how to really explain elderberries because I make the jelly, and the jelly tastes like grape jelly. So
yeah, I can see that comparison.
I think elderberries just taste fine by themselves like a grape. I used to tell my customers, don't do a whole cup of honey, do like half a cup.
I wonder how it would turn out if you did like maple syrup or agave syrup instead.
That is a good idea. These packages are used a one-time use. You use the whole everything in here, and you can even use this to make it in a pie if you wanted to.
Oh wow!
So you just have to remove the cinnamon stick and the clove buds, but you can take the elderberries and make a whole entire mini pie in a cup if you wanted.
Yeah. How much does it make when you do the cordial?
You have those pint jars that you can go ahead and buy. I used to make a whole pint jar, and it would have that much headspace at the top, which was perfect for in the freezer. So I would actually make up, so then when I needed them, I would just go out to the freezer, pull it out, and I'd take the cap off and replace it with a cap that you can drink out of. And that's what I pour out of every single morning.
That's an awesome idea. Or I wonder, you could probably put it in one of those same bottles that you use for the olive oil, like a maple syrup bottle.
It really works in any bottle you put it in, as long as it's completely sealed and you don't drink from it directly.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed, I did a experiment. My aunt loves buying me anything I need. I told her I needed honey. She went to the grocery store, Dollar General, bought honey, came back, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted, but I felt so sick. I needed to make a batch because I was out. It molded within 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I looked at her, I'm like, okay, I've been making this for over 2 years. I've never had a jar mold on me ever. And I've had it in the fridge for over 6 months.
I wonder if the propolis from the raw honey was partially what helped preserve it. Propolis is like the little sticky things that, like the substance that bees put on the edges of frames. And so there's usually a little bit left in the honey if it's raw.
That is intriguing. Considering I'd buy the honey at the Amish store in a white bucket.
Yeah.
And you have to melt it.
Yeah.
They're so expensive now, but so worth it.
So that propolis, it's all antimicrobial. They'll use it to seal up cracks in the hive, and so that's what keeps them from getting sick. They make it from resin from trees, the bees. Yeah. Bees are so cool. So sad. All the 5G and cell phone towers and Wi-Fi, all of that electromagnetic radiation is really, really horrible for bees. So, what I had for my hive, I've got like a cell tower just probably a couple miles away from my house, and so my bees were acting weird for a couple days. I put a little bit of Shungite right on my hive, and they calmed down and quit acting weird. Apparently, there have been studies on Shungite and how it's useful for bees, like just to help keep them calm.
And it's not just bees.
Yeah.
So, Shungite is quite an amazing thing. But there are stickers that you can get with Shungite in them. And this is actually, I have 2 stickers on here. I got a shiny one up here and a star one down here. So for iPhones, I think you have to have 2 of them to help with the...
iPhones have more electromagnetic radiation. So yeah, you should have 2 or more on your iPhones. If you have an Android phone, usually 1 or 2 is okay of that type of sticker.
I actually now have these in my store now, which is an amazing blessing. Homemade here in Michigan. And Rick and I actually, we did an event at the Antique Festival, and I'm hoping he's going to join me again in the fall, but he was there in the spring. I couldn't believe the amount of Shungite that he had in his booth. You speaking about your bees, I now have Shungite in the front of my car in the glove box because I know wherever I'm driving, it will bounce those signals.
Yeah. Shungite is so awesome. Like, it helps break up electromagnetic frequencies, so it's easier for us to process those. It kind of breaks up that beam of EMF that's heading towards us, and so those beams are so difficult for bees to be able to handle, but they're hard for us to handle too. And so Shungite helps deflect that. So that's why it's really good to keep on your phones, especially if you're keeping them on you all the time, like most of us do, but we shouldn't. They say you should try to keep it at least 6 feet away from you, just because your energy field goes out about 6 feet. But I know so many people that use them as their alarm clock.
So we actually have a few items down here if you want to help me grab some.
Sure.
So, being that she brought up Shungite, we now have a new product in our store, and it's more than just one. And it has been a true blessing of a turnaround to be able to share these, because we can't put it on Amazon. We can't put it in big stores. We're going to keep it small. We're going to share it with the local people, because he didn't want to get confused with the other people that are claiming that their stickers were Shungite, because TikTok was blowing up with it. In a sense, they could be showing you the real thing, but are you actually buying the real thing?
Yeah.
And I didn't think much of it, because I'm like, well, if they're selling it like that, it's got to be legit. I now have these on every single one of my phone devices, and this is a EMF blocker to go ahead and block those signals from hitting your body, damaging your body, your kids. For me, I can actually tell, before he put a sticker on my phone, I actually was doing a herbal class and he was part of it, and he goes, hold up your cell phone. I'm like, okay. And I can sense energy, and my phone's always hot to me. And then he put a sticker on it, and I'm like, whoa, it's not hot anymore. Like, it's just nuts. And it's the energy around the device.
Yeah.
that so many people are not aware of.
On my phone, I keep one like on the outside of the case, and then I keep a couple on the inside too, just because I want to like super protect myself from it, because I tend to keep it too close to me too. And so that way, like when the outside one eventually wears off, it normally takes like at least half a year to start looking like it's looking bad, but still, when it starts to wear off, I'll just replace it with one of the ones that I kept in the case. When I get around to it, pick up another one to throw in the case.
And the one thing I like about Rick's stickers, they're what, $4?
Oh yeah.
One sticker's $4.
They're super cheap.
So,
and they work really well. And there are so many different designs too.
I went ahead and saw his whole collection. I'm like, you have like over 20 different designs.
He's got little American flag ones, little fish ones, basketballs, kittens.
And it's amazing how every sticker is going to do the exact same thing, even if it's a different pattern. I do know he is coming out with earbud ones. It's actually individually on each side. So it's like a phone sticker cut in half, but it's the one with the butterfly on it. He made a smaller butterfly to go on each side.
Oh, cute!
Because he actually sent me a picture of it. I'm like, I don't know when this product is coming out yet. I didn't even know if we could share it, honestly. But I asked him, like, is this the same thing as cutting a phone sticker in half? And he's like, okay, no, it is not. It's not like you cover the whole thing of the earbud. So I have those earbuds that are touch. So you have the part that goes in your ear, and then the outside you touch. And then on the inside, you have the charge port. So I don't know if they'll work for my Bose. But for other earbuds that he had mentioned, like the ones that have the cords on them, or the Apple earbuds.
Yeah, like the AirPods, it should definitely be big enough for the AirPods, like the right size for that.
Wrap them around the stem on them.
Anytime you use those Bluetooth earbuds, you're irradiating your brain with them. That Bluetooth radiation isn't any better than the Wi-Fi.
Which one over there do you have?
So I have the 3ST EMF E-clip. So this is just like a little clip that you'll put on like Wi-Fi router cords, your computer cord. The reason he designed it like that is so it can clip right onto cords and help protect you from whatever that device may be.
So it's like a bread tie. I actually asked him, like, was this made actually diagrammed off of a bread tie? He's like, yeah. Like, that's kind of genius.
Yeah.
And
it works, right?
It does. And I didn't realize that you could put it on the electricity line coming in and your internet line.
Yeah.
I put it on my internet line. Wow, I could tell the difference. He actually told me to put this on my hair dryer when I plugged it in, and then blow dry your hair with it, because then you're having the Shungite be blown into your head. I'm like, that's genius, and you're not going to get any of the negative electricity that's in the house being blown on you, because it can't go through it.
Yeah. And like hair dryers are a lot worse than people would expect too.
I'm sure dog dryers are just as bad.
Probably.
It is amazing. He has all of his information right in here on the packet. You can even contact him directly if you had questions.
And he's so great about answering things thoroughly too. Like, he's great.
Very. You can ask him the most dumbest questions in the world, and he'd be like, that is a very good question.
So this was the blanket booster. What Rick has told me about this one is there are 4 different little stickers in there. So there are 4 little stickers. You put one on each corner of your blanket, and after the adhesive sets, then you can wash that blanket and they'll stay permanent on that blanket. And so it just helps protect your blanket from it on you when you sleep, and it protects you from EMFs. So you don't need to keep another piece of Shungite next to your bed or have more stickers on you. Like, this is just for helping you sleep better. A lot of people have electromagnetic sensitivities, and so they can't sleep because of it. I've seen so many people that have issues sleeping, and so my first questions are, do you keep your phone next to you? Do you have a TV on while you sleep? Do you have Wi-Fi on in the house? Do you have a smart meter on your house? Any of those are going to make it harder for you to sleep because they give you more electromagnetic pollution. Some other ones are, do you have a cell tower nearby? Do you just even have a TV or a screen like a computer monitor in the room with you where you sleep? We shouldn't have big screens or electromagnetic devices around us while we're sleeping. They rev up our nervous system. They keep us awake on like our nervous system level. They keep us in fight or flight in a very, very low state. So that's what the blanket booster is really, really great for, is you put those on your blanket. Pretty sure it's 24 hours to let it set.
Correct. So you put it on the blanket on the corner, you wait 24 hours, and then you can wash the blanket and they won't fall off. So it's washable, durable. The Shungite doesn't wash away because it's on the back side. And they're very soft. You won't really even notice that they're there. And honestly, I'm a person that uses a weighted blanket once in a while for my anxiety. I'm like, so this is a weighted blanket without the weight. I'm like, that's genius.
You just reminded me too, like, if you have a heated blanket, those are really, really bad. If you have a heated blanket, you're definitely going to want to put some of these on it.
I'm going to need like 20 of them now that I think about it. So I'm laughing even harder because I don't put them on my blanket, because I put every corner of my car. So while I'm driving my car, I feel it
That's
come
a
down.
really great idea. I love that.
And I know my husband won't throw them away because they're stuck to the roof. Within the last month, I had another pack that I purchased because I realized we were having trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm dealing with so much stress and anxiety. I needed to do something extra. I went naturally. So I decided to put one of those in every corner of my bedroom. I haven't had a problem since.
That's awesome.
So you don't have to stick those on a blanket. Now, granted, now knowing about heating blankets, I may have to be tempted to. They do work. And I do know that they do stick on because he had customers coming up and actually sharing their results. I don't know what video he showed me, but they do not peel off. Mm-hmm. So I actually have one of these next to my bed as well. So basically, this is another Shungite that you can go ahead and put on your table, outside the baggie obviously. You can put a cup of water on here for overnight, and it actually turns your water electronically. Like, it pulls it naturally to where it charges it, to where you actually have a natural positive charge. So it's even better to drink because then your body's getting a positive charge in the morning. So I've put one of these next to my bed with my cup of water, so whenever I wake up in the night, I can take a drink out of it and put it down, and it tastes so good. Let alone I use a copper cup. I am set on copper now. You can also put these in your husband's wallets to go ahead and block the EMF signals from coming in.
What's really great about Shungite, a lot of Shungite comes from a cave in Russia, and so over there they'll use it to purify water. Like, put the actual Shungite crystals in their water to purify the water. And so I really love this just as to help charge your water the right way. It's a really, really great way to have it too, just as like a little coaster like that. Plus they're flexible, so like you don't have to worry about breaking it in a pocket or in a wallet, however you use it.
Yeah, even for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So these are completely, so this has a heart on it. You can bend it right in half and it won't break. It is that flexible, which is cool because you can tape it. I wanted to tape it to the bottom of my water bottle, my copper water bottle. But it came in with a foam thing stuck to the bottom, so I couldn't stick it because I'm like, if I take the foam off, the foam won't go back on. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that would be genius. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have one next to my bed.
And they're so cute too.
They are, and the fact they're so flexible, I hid one of these in my husband's wallet for a year.
How long did it took a year before he found it?
Yeah, he doesn't go through his wallet very often. So I do know that these have stronger Shungite in them than the stickers. Mm-hmm. Because these are, he was able to put more Shungite inside of these, making them more stronger, so you can actually feel the energy difference. Like, just holding this, I don't want to put it down because it feels so good. Oh, they're addicting for me. I also have a Shungite necklace, which I was wearing every single day, but I think it's healthy to take a break and then come back to things because your body can cycle through it. That is a blessing in disguise, using Shungite. Who knew rocks would be our friend?
I know, right?
And being a herbalist, writing a book, I thought I was a witch, is hard because writing it, I'm still not done writing it. I keep pausing and going, it's not the way I want it to say it, and I have to go back and go back. But going ahead and finding out you're a herbalist, you're going through all these herbalism items, and we're making salves, we're making tinctures, and then you come up to somebody with Shungite, and you're like, ooh, are you one of those people that believe rocks have all the magical powers? Are you like a witch? Are you like putting them in circles and being like, this will recharge you? And
if only they knew.
For me, I still get weirded out because it's easy to find the witches that still do it.
Yeah.
But trying to find the herbalists that are like, I don't do it for a ritual or things like that.
I do it because it works. Because there have been studies done on this. Because it's been used for centuries. You do it because it's how it works, not because you want to be aesthetic and be witchy.
And it's also stated in the Bible how they used to use different stones for different plates. Mm-hmm. And it's very easy to lose sight of what God had created and what it was originally used for, because now in today's society, a lot of people think that herbalism is you're all witches.
Yeah. Or that it's new agey. Like, you can look on archive.org and find hundreds of old herbal texts from 1500s or earlier. And the herbs are still good for the same things now that they were back then. Herbalism is the oldest form of medicine. It's crazy how many people don't still use it.
What item, Jen, would you like to pick out of our basket? Oh.
Mullein capsules.
I love Mullein capsules because if you're someone with asthma, now granted, we are not doctors. We cannot prescribe, cure, or prevent anything because this is just a herb that we know can help, but everybody's DNA is different. So it can help some people and other people it has a different reaction. So Mullein is good for breathing, coughing, going ahead and cleaning out the lungs.
What's really interesting as herbalism is there's a phenomenon known as the doctrine of signatures. And so what that means is when you look at a plant, sometimes the structure of the plant will show you what it's good for. So some people correlate, like, say, walnuts are really good for brain health because it looks like a brain. Carrots are good for the eyes because if you cut them in half, they look like an eye. And there are things in walnut that are really good for the brain. There are things in carrot that are really good for the eyes. And so mullein, the leaves are almost shaped like the lobe of a lung. And so that's the doctrine of signatures for mullein, is people correlate to lung health, but specifically the leaves of the plant. And the flowers of the plant are a little bit different. If you've ever seen them, they're kind of like a little yellow jumbly flower that's up on a stalk. Mullein has a really tall stalk in its second year, and so that stalk will be covered in little yellow flowers, and then when you get to closer to the bottom, it'll have the leaves. And so mullein flowers are used for the ears. Lots of people make mullein garlic oil, like of the flowers and of cloves of garlic for the ears. And so with these, this is mullein capsules, so this would be of the mullein leaf, and so you'd want to use this more for the lungs. It does help clear out mucus. It's a really good expectorant, but it's also tropho-restorative for the lungs. It contains everything you need to help rebuild that lung tissue. And so since it's mild enough to be used for lots of people, like it's one of the more mild herbs that you don't really have to worry about, is this safe for this person to take? Most people can handle it just fine. It's a really good mild herb that helps heal up that whole lung tissue. Really great for mucus, really great for bronchitis, COPD, any type of chronic lung concern it's really great for, just because it's tropho-restorative.
Allergies.
Yeah, allergies, really, really great. Especially if it's the lung more allergies rather than super sinusy allergies. But even still.
And those
even still, it
that
helps clear that mucus, but not in a really strong way. Like, it doesn't clear, it's not harsh and cutting like thyme is. It's more mild.
Mm-hmm. So, how many years does a mullein grow? One plant.
So, first year that the mullein is growing for, it's just going to have a basal rosette of leaves. Like, it'll just look like a little spiral of fluffy leaves. And what's really funny about mullein is people call it, like, wild toilet paper, because the leaves are so soft. But I gotta say, if you rub one of those leaves against your cheek, it's going to feel a little pokey. So, I don't think you want to use it as toilet paper.
I've watched a few videos of a guy actually explaining. He goes, remember we went through that toilet paper extravaganza where everyone was freaking out and going out and buying it like crazy?
Yeah.
And nobody could find toilet paper. He goes, oh, don't worry about it. I have mullein. And then he made this video going, don't use mullein. My butt regretted it for the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
I thrive for the real experiences.
Yeah. That's great.
It was priceless, especially since I had mullein hanging up in my basement. I'm like, yeah, I could use this if I absolutely... Never mind.
I mean, honestly, if it gets to that point, I feel like strips of fabric would be better.
I can agree with that, by far. Because I then started feeling the mullein leaves, and I'm like, it's kind of like fiberglass.
Yeah.
It literally is fiberglass on your skin.
It's a little pokey. Mm-hmm. Even though they look super soft.
Yeah.
And so for the first year, they'll just have the basal rosette of leaves like that. And then the second year, they'll grow that super tall stalk. Like, sometimes it can be over 7 feet high. And after that stalk dies, the plant's dead. Like, it only lasts 2 years. So that's what's known as a biennial.